Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kory. The footage you just watched was filmed entirely using this little guy right here. This is the Arris Shadow25. It's a 2.5 inch Cinewhoop that was crafted to compete directly with the Beta 95X. I know they are a little bit behind considering that there is a V3 out, which if I'm not mistaken really only has more powerful motors than the V2 version of the Beta 95X. The frame design is a pusher style Cinewhoop, which means basically everything is upside down and the props are reversed, pushing air downward instead of pulling air in. Basically like having 4 fans running at the bottom for thrust. This is a pretty popular design feature and you see that on the Beta 95X and other similar quads. There's a carbon fiber base plate, but most of it is plastic and rubber throughout the quad. There's also a thin layer of foam around the prop guards, which I prefer simply because it looks less bulky and is just as efficient at bouncing off of a wall or a person's face in case you crash. The thing I really love about this drone is the camera mount. The FPV cam and HD cam are soft mounted. There's almost like an air cushion between these two plates, which results in having a much less jello-ridden video. So great to see Arris incorporate that. I'd like to mention that the HD cam does not come with the drone. I'm simply using one I had lying around, which is the Insta360. I would not recommend putting a full-size GoPro on here because the motors would most likely overheat because of the weight. A naked GoPro would also work perfect and would certainly have better quality footage than the Insta360 Go that I'm using here. Going back to the FPV cam while we're at it, they are using the Caddx Ant Nano. This is the first I've used this cam, but it's definitely a great camera like pretty much all Caddx FPV cams. Caddx is really killing it lately, to say the least. Just look what they're doing in the HD space, being partnered with DJI for one. The Arris Shadow25 utilizes the 1106 4000 kV motors. The Beta 95X V2 has the same motor size but with 4500 kV, which is why I'm comparing this drone directly to that one. The motors themselves look identical aside from the logo, so it's pretty safe to assume that they buy from the same manufacturer. They are certainly powerful enough with this drone considering it carries this Beta FPV Insta360 with no issues unless it's windy of course, but that's to be expected with any micro drone this size. Moving on to what really makes this thing tick, the flight controller stack they are using is new to me, and that is the Hypheon F7 25 amp flight controller stack. With it being an F7, it comes with all the ports you could need and is basically future-proof for the next few years. I have no complaints on the flight controller. The ESC is rated all the way up to 6S, although the motors are not, so I wouldn't chance that unless you upgrade the motors. They are BLHeli-S and support D-Shot 600, another area of improvement for V2, I would say, Arris. Side note, Arris states this drone is rated for 3S, but everything on it is rated up to 4, and I tested that theory with some GNB 4S batteries with no issues, so I'm not sure why they have it rated 3S on their website. I will say the motors were slightly warmer, but it is carrying an action cam, so who could really say if it's the batteries or the Insta360. The drone was sent to me with an FR Sky receiver, but I will likely be putting on TBS Tracer just for added peace of mind if I decide to go to a riskier bando or something like that. The props are GymFam 2.5 inch D63s, seem to work just fine, no complaints in that front. Arris' website doesn't say exactly what VTX they are using, but I do know it goes up to 400 milliwatts, which is plenty for what this drone is designed for. I had very little breakup in my FPV feed, even around the concrete or further distances. Overall, this is a fantastic entry to the micro Cinewhoop class. For those that have been with this channel for a while, you know I have supported Arris from the beginning. They have a way of flying under the radar with their drones, but they really do come out with some great products, this being one of them. The only complaint I would have has to be the motors. I think they should have gone with 1400 level rather than 1106 simply because of the wind factor. it would add a bit more stability, I would say, but again, that's only when it's windy, and quite frankly, you would want this for filming indoors or on calm days anyway. If you want to pick one up for yourself, there will be a link to their website. It's only $180, and to me, it's very, very much worth it. It's a fantastic and fun little drone that is capable of shooting great footage through tight spaces and has enough power for all the flips and flops you want. That's all I have for you guys today. Be on the lookout for future vids and reviews. I have a few in the pipeline I can't wait to share with you all, and a potential partnership with a well-known distributor that I'm excited to tell you guys about. Anyway, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Shadow25, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.